They didn't cheat. They didn't fight. They didn't leave. But somehow, somewhere in the quiet corners of time, the love just disappeared. This is the story of how Jason and Alina went from laughing in bed at midnight to barely saying good night, and why so many couples slowly lose each other without even realizing it. Jason and Alina were the kind of couple people pointed at and smiled. The ones at restaurants finishing each other's sentences, making up private jokes no one else understood. When they moved in together, they filled their new home with books. Candlelight dinners, spontaneous road trips, and slow Sunday mornings tangled in bed sheets. They were best friends first. Lovers second. And that order always seemed to make their connection feel bulletproof. But the truth is, no one expects a relationship to die quietly. It started with the small stuff. Jason used to text her funny memes during the day. Then he stopped. Alina used to kiss him on the shoulder every time she passed his desk, but now she just walked by. They still lived together, still said, "I love you" before bed. But those words started sounding more like "good night" than "I cherish you." Neither of them wanted to admit it, but something had shifted. Not all at once, but slowly. Like erosion, little pieces of them washing away, silently. Jason convinced himself it was just a phase. Work was stressful. Maybe that's why Alina was distant. Alina thought maybe she was the problem. Maybe she needed to reignite the spark. They both tried. She planned a weekend getaway. He booked a reservation at her favorite restaurant. And for a moment, it felt like old times again. But it never lasted. It was like putting a Band-Aid on something that needed surgery. No one was to blame. But that made it even harder. One night, sitting on opposite ends of the couch, with a movie playing no one was watching, Alina spoke first. "Do you ever feel like we're just roommates now?" Jason didn't look away from the screen. "Yeah, I do." There was no anger in their voices, just sadness. The kind that comes when you realize you didn't lose something. You just forgot to keep it alive. What Jason didn't know was that Alina had been keeping a journal for months, writing down every small moment she felt unseen, unheard, or unloved, and what she found when she reread it would change everything. Because one entry in that journal, just one, revealed a truth about their relationship that even Jason didn't see coming. And it's the reason they made the decision they did at the end of this story. In the journal, Alina wrote, "I miss who we were, but I don't know if we're meant to be who we used to be. Maybe we're just holding on to a version of us that no longer fits." She showed it to Jason, and for the first time in months, they talked. For real. About everything, their fears, their numbness, their wish that love could be easy again. They didn't argue. They just sat there, quiet, together. And they both realized something. They had spent so much time trying to go back to what they were, they never thought about who they could become next. So they made a decision. Not to break up, not to force it, but to rediscover, to date again, to talk about what they want now, not what they used to love. It wasn't a magical fix. There were no fireworks. But there was hope. Because the truth is, relationships don't just die because of cheating or screaming. Sometimes they fade because we stop feeding them. And sometimes, if we're honest and brave enough, we can bring them back. So if you're watching this and wondering why you feel so far from the person sleeping next to you, ask yourself, when was the last time we really saw each other? Don't wait for a breakup to start talking. Don't wait for silence to become the soundtrack of your home. Share this story with someone who needs it. Comment your thoughts if you've ever felt this way, and subscribe to this channel for more real relationship stories that help us all grow, heal, and love better. Because sometimes the quietest endings can become the most beautiful new beginnings.